at the end of the discussion, what is the other person, our children, our friend, our spouse, trying to say. I think that's what communication is about. Communication is about trying to, I have something I want to tell you. The question is, are you getting that something that is trying to be told to us? Sometimes we need patience, sometimes we need persistence, sometimes we just need to stop for a while. I had a very interesting discussion just now. I went up to our friend here and said, "Yes, how are you?" "Okay, fine, how are you doing?" He asked me back, "How are you?" Apparently I didn't listen. He counted 6 times he asked me and I didn't answer. Because I was so engrossed with what's going to happen next year. But it was an interesting revelation because I asked you 6 times and you have not replied. Then, okay, I put my thought on the workshop, took out, put one side. And don't think about this. And we had a good conversation. Right? And we're going to do a movie together. For the first time, I'm going to be an actor. So we had a conversation when we put that mind away. I put my working mind away. So thank you. So what do you want to get across? Sometimes it's difficult. I think in most times it's difficult. We assume and we listen with what we have in our own minds. So communication is breaking all that to see what is the real message we are supposed to get, or the real message you want to tell. So the next method of communication is, sorry, you want to do something? Okay, right.
Okay, I like to...
You asked me a question to answer.
Yeah, I asked him whether he wanted to share his experience with his dad, because that is a typical father who don't talk to the son. And it's been for many years. I married into his family, and that's what I noticed. And then something happened.
What happened?
He was trying to constantly find a common ground where there can be some communication. Okay, it's very difficult because his interest is totally different from the father. Now then, the father loves golf, and we noticed that his brother-in-law talks a lot with the father after a golf game or during the golf game. So I nudge him and say, "Hey, pick up golf lah."
Now this is interesting because I mean, just to extend what Wai-Ling started with earlier, I think being Asians, maybe we shouldn't use the word being Asians, because her family, relatives in Hong Kong are also Asians and they are totally open in communication. I think it's some Malaysian problem. It's not an Asian issue, right? I think if you look back, because we were migrants, our grandparents, our great-grandparents who came, had a very hard life, and all they know is work very hard. You have to work very hard to break out of where you are. And for most of us, not necessarily all, most of us, we came, our families came to this part of the world because we wanted to seek new economic opportunities, which never found in their own country. So all they know is work hard, work harder, work like hell. You know? Serious. And I think my parents inherited that. Because my grandma was the first generation when she came. She had to work 3 jobs. She worked to support the children and so on. So these stories are very common, right? If you talk to their grandparents and they'll tell you all these stories, and you feel so guilty about playing. After that, you listen to their stories, I feel so guilty playing. My problem with my dad was that he's from that school. And when he was young, he had all this inherited, he has this anger He has anger management issues. He gets really violent. He got it from his dad. When his dad was not successful, my grandfather was not successful, he go out drinking, come back and beat the kids up, and then he inherited part of that. So I get the brunt of all that. I'm the eldest. So the youngest are rebellious, the eldest are the punching bag. Right? Okay? You go to school, you do something wrong, you get whacked. You do something right, where do you copy it from? You get whacked, you know? So I got a lot of that, and I had very difficulty communicating with my dad in the early days. But I knew my dad loved us. He tries to communicate, but very difficult. When he knew I was interested in sports, and I like to run. One day he never talked. He hardly talks to me or talks to us. One day he came back with a pair of spike shoes. No, I really love that pair of spike shoes, but he never said. You don't know what spike shoes are. When you do running athletics, you wear shoes that have nails. Okay, you never run, right? Right? And then that was it. He gave, and I struggled to say thank you, and that's it. You know, we hardly really talk about anything else. Right? So when we had conflict, my father would be imposing his standards. You shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. I realized one thing. There are bad words out there, there are F words out there, right? And in parenting, the bad word is should. You should lah. Chinese 应该，你应该，So I couldn't find a common ground. We was very tense, and every New Year, we just all smile and visit, right? So golf was a breaking point. So you want to communicate with your children or even with your parents, find a common point. When Dad asked me to play golf many years ago, I said no, it's environmentally destructive, destroys so much of land just for 4 people to walk and hit one ball into the hole. It's very unfair. Many people have no home. You destroy all this environment just to have 4 people play there. My father take a golf cart and whack me. I was a crazy environmentalist and all that. Right? So, bite the bullet, then learn how golf. And I played, at that time I played every week with my dad. Every week. Now, after starting to play, you find that you talk. You know why? Because I have 4 hours. One golf game is about 4 to 6 hours. 18 hole. Any of you play golf here? Right? 18 hole, right? If you are very good, 3.5 hours. If you are terrible, 6 hours, right? So when I was beginner, terrible, 6 hours, one-on-one time with my dad. And it's very, very powerful. Right? As you get better, you have shorter time, 4 hours. Right? Then you have longer lunch break, longer tea break, So you stretch the 5 hours. So what we're saying is that if you can find a common ground, but your ideals, right? Your crazy ideals, and go and do it. Now he talks to me about how he feels. I understand how he feels about his mom. I understand how he feels about my mom, which I never knew. I found out that he worked in a bar when he was 15 and got involved in bar fights, which I never knew. Right? And a lot more things started to come out. It was really interesting experience. Now I've come to the point that I like golf. So, but I'm not a crazy every week golfer, but I enjoy walking in the green and being very peaceful with the green around us. So sometimes you need to bend to see where you are. So where your kids are concerned, yes, talking in the car is good, involving, communicating, or trying to talk is good, but try to find points of connection. If you can find points of connection, that's very, very powerful. Okay. Involve in what your kids are doing. Try to get your kids involved in what you are doing. That's tougher. It's involved easier. But the challenge is being teenagers, If my dad is further away from me, when I'm with my friends, it's better because it's not cool when my dad is around. Okay, this old man come and kacau me, so you have to be very careful and be very sensitive. So find the points. Once you find it, I think it's very rewarding. So I've learned that. Okay, so I found the point Okay, so hope you find us too. Okay, thank you for reminding me to tell this story. So think about this, right? So this brings to the next point. You want to communicate something, you want to share something inside, what you do is learning to question. Our community and our schooling system, sad to say, have taught us not to question. It has taught us authority is more important. It has taught us that age represents authority, younger age represents no authority. Right? It has built a big wall among us. So we have to break that down and learn to question. Okay? So we're going to do a simple exercise. Okay? Short game. Can huh? Short game. When you practice questioning. Okay? Want to do that? Right? So you try that and go back and do that with your kids at home. You can try with your husband or wife later. Right? So back to this exercise, find a partner again. Okay? It can be the same partner. I know you're very comfortable, go search for the same partner. Also can. But if I ask you to find a new partner, you okay, never mind. Find the same partner. Okay? Right? Okay, and face each other. This time not so terrible, you don't have to stare at them, it's not so bad. Right? I'm going to give you a statement. Yeah. And okay, one person makes a statement, and another person asks the question. This is called the why game. Why? Okay, and I need you to, the other person who is making the statement got to keep answering it. Alright? I don't care what comes out from you, just answer. Right? Got it? So, for example, okay, M is a partner, M doesn't have a partner. Anyone doesn't have a partner? All has partners. Okay, so M, you want to help out with this? She's happy. Okay. Oh, M, we need you. Show one partner. Excuse me. Okay, example is like this. I'm going to make a statement. My partner is smiling. My statement is, okay. Blue is my favorite color. Same example. I'm going to give you another statement. So blue is my favorite color. So you're going to start asking.
Why is blue your favorite color?
Blue is the color of the sky, and I love to look at the sky.
Why do you like to look at the sky?
Sometimes I imagine myself flying.
Why do you imagine yourself flying?
Sometimes I'm in the prison, you know. So when I imagine myself flying, I feel free.
Why do you like to feel free?
I think people don't like me.
Why don't people like you?
Okay, we stop there. The simple statement, and you can go as deep as you want, or as deep as you can until the bell rings. Right? Got it? So the statement is, okay, everybody start with the same statement. Right? You will end up with different ending, but never mind. Okay? Decide who's going to ask why, who's going to make the statement. Okay? Decide now. I give you the statement. Don't worry, you can take this. After that, you will switch. Cannot escape.